After a night together, the woman told the man it was over. She threw him a check for $5 million and the keys to the villa as a reward for his 3 years of service. She said he didn't need to work at the club anymore. The man got really mad and asked if she knew who he really was. She coldly said it didn't matter who he was because their deal was finished. Just as he asked for an explanation, her husband came home. She told her lover their time was up and sent him away. Outside, she immediately faced her husband Yanfeng, who had his arm around her best friend Xiaoling. He told her not to call him husband. He said he had no feelings for her and only loved Xiaoling. He explained that he only married her because his grandfather forced him to. She shot back that he could have his lover while she had her fun, calling it a perfect setup. Right then, her best friend acted all innocent and thanked her for picking them up. Then she said she was pregnant with Yanfeng's baby and asked if she could keep it. She smiled coldly and agreed. She said it was good for a mistress to help carry on the family line. Then she asked her husband if the baby could also call her mom when it was born. This made him furious. She reminded him that his family had put all their property in her name when they got married. Those assets were her compensation, and she could take them back any time. She asked for a divorce. She said she didn't want to be tied to him and delay his family reunion. Furious, Yanfeng ran to his grandfather, who took her side. His grandfather said if Yanfeng dared to divorce her, he would give her 80% of the family's shares. He reminded his grandson that he had chosen her for him and wouldn't let her be mistreated. To protect the family's future, the grandfather gave them a task. They had to go to the Bo family matriarch's birthday party. They needed to get close to the mysterious and powerful Bo family heir to win the Heaven Resort project. At the party, her adoptive mother and sister, who is the family's real daughter, tried to embarrass her. Her sister showed off a gaudy $8 million necklace, but she revealed her own gift was priceless. Her sister made fun of her without mercy. She asked how she dared to give handmade incense as a birthday gift. She asked if she knew the matriarch's jade bracelet alone was worth $200 million, but she calmly presented her gift. Her sister sneered that the cheap homemade thing was an insult. However, the matriarch opened the box and was immediately surprised by the nice smell. She suffered from really bad insomnia, and this smell was very calming. She explained that she heard the matriarch had trouble sleeping. She said she personally mixed herbs like calamus and nightshade vine to make a calming incense. The old woman was happy and said she felt refreshed just from the smell. She ordered it to be taken to her bedroom and warned others not to touch it. While other guests praised her thoughtful gift, her sister was left humiliated. Meanwhile, her husband approached the powerful Bo Jingswan. He was trying to get the Heaven Resort project for his family, but Bo Jingswan coldly said the project was open to anyone except the Yan family. At that moment, she overheard other women fawning over Bo Jingswan, desperate for his attention. They told her if she saw his face, a face gods and men would envy, she'd never forget it. She smirked, remembering a face she could never forget. The face of the man she just threw away. At the party, Bo Jingswan got a phone call. She froze when she heard his voice on the other end, recognizing it instantly. She turned around in horror and saw him. Her little pretty boy was the heir to the Bo family, the man everyone was fawning over. Her eyes were wide with shock. He trapped her in the room. His voice was low and dangerous as he told her to leave her husband. It all started when her husband foolishly asked Bo Jingswan why he wouldn't do business with the Yan family. Without a word, Bo Jingswan pointed to a faint mark on his neck. He coldly told the husband to ask his own wife. In an instant, her sister grabbed the chance to humiliate her. She accused her of shamelessly trying to seduce the powerful heir. Her own husband turned on her and demanded to know what she had done. Only then did Bo Jingswan reveal their history. 3 years ago, she had pursued him, only to disappear without a word. Now he suggested a way to settle their old score. He remembered she had once crashed into his car. To clear the debt, she just had to drink, to save her family from ruin. She grabbed a decanter of wine and drank it all. Her husband just stood there and did nothing. Just when she thought it was over, a waitress spilled a tray on her on purpose. The waitress guided her to a private room to change. She walked right into his trap. Bo Jingswan was waiting. He reminded her this wasn't the first time he'd seen her like this. Then he pulled her into a fierce kiss. With 3 years of anger in his eyes, he told her he remembered everything. He wanted her to pay back what she owed, not with wine, but with herself. His demand was clear. She had to leave her husband. Her eyes were wide with shock. He grabbed her, desperate to stop her from leaving. He asked if she truly loved the other man that much, but she coldly revealed their whole 3-year relationship was fake. He was just a tool for her to get revenge on a cheater. He was stunned and asked if he had just been a tool. She confirmed it. She said now that she knew he was a powerful man, there was no reason to ask. Enraged, he declared that no one could use him as a tool and just throw him away. He said if anyone was going to be thrown away, it would be her. He boasted about being an expert at using his power for personal revenge. Seeing her chance, she asked him to prove it. She wanted him to get her company a crucial bidding document. He agreed. But on one condition, she had to move into his villa. She promised she would, as soon as he sent the document. He pulled out his phone, ready to send the file. But the next second, she grabbed her luggage and walked out. He stood frozen as she turned back with a smirk. She said she would move in as promised, in 5 years. At the TV station, her co-workers were celebrating. Her main rival for the primetime news anchor job had been promoted and transferred. This left the golden spot wide open. They praised her for bringing in so much sponsorship money. But a rival journalist named Weiwei Ann sneered that the anchor job depended on skill, not on being a sales champ. The woman shot back that being a sales champ was better than being a parasite. Just then, the station director walked in and broke up their fight. He introduced a new coworker, a top graduate from a famous journalism school. When she got to the exclusive golf club, she was stopped at the front desk. She said her father-in-law was Yan Chengye, but the receptionist looked confused. The receptionist then asked if she was also Mrs. Yan. At home, her husband, Yan Feng, comforted her. She told him about the competition to interview Bo Jingsu. He smiled and said he knew Bo Jingsu went to the private Royal Golf Club every weekend. He told her she could go using his premium membership under the name Mrs. Yan. He said no one would dare stop her. She was thrilled, and her plan fell perfectly into place. But her sweet act was a lie. What her husband didn't know was her true mission. She vowed to compete with Jiangsu for everything. She would steal her husband, her job, and her family. She would make her suffer and lose everything. When she got to the exclusive golf club, the receptionist stopped her, looking confused. The receptionist asked if she was also Mrs. Ost. Yan. Just then, her rival, Xiaoling, walked in with a smirk. Before she could react, Bo Jingsu himself showed up with his friends. One of them made fun of the scene. He called it a case of the real and fake Mrs. Yan. He laughed about the Yan family's polygamous habits. But Bo Jingsu wasn't laughing. He told his friend he should know who the real Mrs. Yan was. He then told the receptionist to make a video call to Yan Feng to identify his real wife. On the call, Yan Feng's face appeared. Without hesitating, he pointed to Xiaoling, identifying her as the one in the white shirt. Humiliated, the woman was mocked by Bo Jingsu's friend for pretending to be someone else to get in. The receptionist immediately demanded she leave. Cornered, Bo Jingsu asked if she still wanted to be Mrs. Yan. He offered to get rid of everyone else if she would just give in to him. But she had another plan. She pulled out a card. He froze. It was the Black Leopard card, an ultra-exclusive card. Not even the Jiang or Yan families could get one. Only 20 people in the world had one, including Bo Jingsu. He was stunned. He demanded to know her real identity. Ignoring him, she told the receptionist she wanted to buy a membership. She knew the fee was 2 million. As the receptionist processed the card, Xiaoling approached her rival on the golf course. She introduced herself to Bo Jingsu as a reporter, but he coldly dismissed her and showed no interest. Just then, the woman took a swing, and her shot was perfect. Bo Jingsu's friend was impressed, but the CEO just sneered that it was an empty swing, all for show. She challenged him to a match. Xiaoling scoffed at her audacity. She said Bo Jingsu's status was way too high to compete with her, but to her shock, he agreed. To win the exclusive interview, the woman challenged the billionaire to a high-stakes golf match. But her rival immediately sneered, saying she was overestimating herself. She said no one dared to claim they were better than him. His supporters agreed, telling her the only way to win was to get a hole-in-one. The billionaire made his shot perfectly, landing the ball right beside the hole. He then challenged her. He said if she could make a hole-in-one, the interview rights would be hers. Just then, back in the office, the station chief announced they had secured the exclusive interview with the billionaire's company. But what she didn't know was that he wasn't talking about her. Her rival, Xiaoling, proudly claimed the victory. The chief praised her, saying she had a limitless future. All her coworkers celebrated. One of them mocked the woman, saying unlike some people who just talk big, Xiaoling actually delivered. That night, to rub salt in the wound, the rival invited the whole office to a fancy restaurant to celebrate. She bragged to her friends that places like that weren't for ordinary people. She openly wondered what kind of powerful family Xiaoling came from. Xiaoling just smiled and said she was from a normal family. She said her boyfriend supported her and loved her very much, making everyone swoon. At that moment, she turned to the woman and condescendingly offered her the menu. She told her not to be shy and to order whatever she wanted. But what they didn't know was what really happened on the golf course. Against all odds, the woman took her stance. With a perfect swing, she sent the ball flying right into the hole. Everyone was stunned. The rival couldn't believe it and said it was impossible. Even the billionaire was shocked. The woman simply walked up to him and asked if he would keep his word. He had no choice but to agree. He confirmed the interview rights were hers. But the next second, he added a terrible condition. She could have the interview in 5 years. Only then did the woman realize she had been completely played. Her rival laughed and said she thought she had actually won,